Hello, my lovelies. I hope you guys are enjoying the beautiful weather outside. Well, I am recording this on Thursday, so I don't know if it's going to be nice tomorrow. Hopefully it is, but hopefully you are getting outside and exercising and really taking advantage of this time off, even though I know we still have work. Okay, so we are going to be doing today's lesson not through a slide show, but through the website that I've been giving you because I just love the images that it has. It's really cool. So I'm on page 5 in your health books, right? On page 5. It's talking about cartilage. Now, cartilage is technically not a bone, okay? But it is connected to your bone. So it is white. And if you look on this, okay, like in between your vertebrae, you see cartilage. Okay, all this, you see this white. Okay, so that is cartilage. And cartilage is actually connected to the end of every bone. Cartilage is very important because even though there is no blood supply that goes to cartilage, so it's like, how is it alive? Okay, because everything in our body has blood supply. So how is that possible? But it gets blood supply and energy from the bones. So the Lord created that way. But cartilage is so important because it is another protective layering on the bones that keep it from rubbing together. So if you do not have cartilage, then your bones would rub together and it would be very painful. If you've ever seen someone that injured who maybe they're a little older, but really it can happen. Like with me, I've talked about my bad knees. It can happen to people who are in their 40s or 50s, not even that old. And they'll be like, oh, my knees, and it hurts, and they're in really bad pain with their knees. A lot of times it's because that cartilage, especially in their knees, has worn off, and so their bones are rubbing together. Okay? And that hurts a lot. And so God created this substance called cartilage, and there's a different form of cartilage, but He created this hard substance that is attached to the end of your bones to stop, them from rubbing together. Now, if you touch your nose like this and move it, you see how it moves, like this? The end of your nose is actually cartilage. So when you see a skeleton, you see this nose right here, how it doesn't look like a normal nose, because this is not bone, okay? So when you see a skeleton, they don't have a normal nose because only bone is showing. Same with your ears, okay? If you tug, my ears are a little covered up, but if you see your ears like this, okay, which is a different type of cartilage, but it's still cartilage. Now, your skeleton doesn't have ears because this is cartilage. That's how people can pierce their ears, okay? But you see how it's a little harder, but it's flexible too. But your ears and your nose don't show up on your skeleton because they're made of cartilage. Okay, so if you turn to page 6, now you should have already been you should already have watched a video of Dr. Bionics, and he was showing you all the names of the different types of bones. Of course, not all 206. Remember, we have 206 bones, not all of those. But he was doing some of the bigger bones, and you need to know what those bones are called, the technical terms for them. And then there was a music video song that was showing you it as well. And so I would watch those several times and practice them in different ways. Don't be afraid to practice those so that you know those bones. And so I'm going to click on here. We're going to review them. So we have the skull. Okay, the skull here is at the top of your head. So touch your skull. They're made of different bones. Okay, 22 different bones is your skull. Okay, your jawbone. Your jawbone is actually it's on a hinge, and it is called the mandible. Can you say that? The mandible is your jawbone, and that is the only one that moves out of all of your skull bones. Then we have the backbone. Now, each of the bones in your spine, we call it the spine, each of the bones in your spine are called vertebrae. okay, are called vertebrae. So each of these, so all these little disc type things are called, and they're connected together by cartilage, and they're called vertebrae. Then you have the collarbone. Okay, so if you touch your collarbone, okay, this is called the clavicle. Okay, the clavicle. And we'll talk about this. And then the shoulder blades, kind of more in the back, but your shoulder blades connected to your clavicle. It's what helps your arms be connected to your clavicle or your collarbone. Then we have the ribs. Okay, you gotta stand up again. Let's see. Okay, so touch your ribs. They're down here. Okay, your ribs. Go back. Okay, we have the humerus. It's the big bone in your arm. And then at this part of your arm, okay, there are 2 bones. Okay, you have 2 bones. So your whole arm from your wrist to your shoulder is 3 bones. You have the humerus. Okay, you have the radius, and you have the ulna. Okay, the radius and ulna, and then they don't show you that in your hands, okay, but these are the carpals, the metacarpals, and then the phalanges. Can you say phalanges? That is the bones in your fingers are called phalanges. It's phalanges, but I just love that, so I always say it with a weird voice. Then we have our pelvis bone. This is our hips, okay? This is our hips that, let's see. Okay, so right here, okay, pelvis bone is our hips. Okay, then you have the thigh bone. Okay, the thigh bone is the longest, okay, the longest and strongest, and it's called the femur. Okay, so touch your femur. When someone breaks their femur, that's a big deal. That hurts, okay, because it supports the majority of your weight. Your femur does. So it's very, very strong, and it is long. Okay, then we have the kneecap, which is one of my favorite bones because it's called the patella. Okay, and I like the patella. It kind of sounds like Nutella. I guess I love Nutella. That's why I like, but that's kind of fun. So we have the patella, and then just like your legs, your arms, your leg, this shin bone. Again, it's not called a shin bone for real. It's the tibia. And they're not showing you this one, but the other, okay, the other thinner one, okay, that, okay, is called your, okay, so you have tibia and the fibia. So they rhyme, tibia, fibia, tibia, fibia. Then you have your ankle bones, which you have, okay, you have 2 larger bones, which these are called, okay, and then 5 smaller ones. So these are called the tarsals, the metatarsals, and then your toes are also called, I have my things on. They're also called the phalanges, okay? So your toes and fingers are called the phalanges. And then you have your hands are carpals, metacarpals. Carpals will go down here. Metacarpals, phalanges, and then tarsals, metatarsals, phalanges. So those are the main bones. Obviously, we have 206 as adults, 300 as babies. We're not going to learn all the names of those. Those are crazy. Okay, but those are the main ones that when you think of a skeleton that you need to know with that. So I'm going to stop this video, and then we're going to talk about some, obviously God designed all the bones, but we're going to talk about some that are so important with the way that he designed them. Okay, so I will be right back.